The house feels really comfortable, but that's not what you said in the email, though.
Right, we actually have a humidity problem, and it's not when you would expect it to be. Normally, you would think you would have high humidity in the summers, but when the air conditioner's on, it's fine. It's in the spring and the fall that we have high humidity.
All right. You realize, of course, you live in New Orleans where there's plenty of humidity, right?
Yes.
All right. How bad does it get?
Pretty severe. The windows get condensation on the inside a couple times a year, and I really would like to keep the house healthy and our musical instruments nice and dry.
That's right. They can't take a wide range of humidity. I know.
No.
All right. So why don't you show me where you hide your mechanical system?
Follow me.
All right. All right, Sarah. So here's your air conditioning unit in the attic. I love seeing this insulation completely on the entire roof right here. So often I see it right on the second floor ceiling, and then the poor air conditioner is sitting in a really hot place. This is great.
Yeah, we added it about 3 years ago.
Good job. So now, here's your system. Here's the return air. Any of the warm air that's in the building gets pulled up through this big flexible return duct right here, pulled into the back right here. Now inside your air conditioner, you've got a coil and a blower pushing the air this way. The air that's hot comes across that refrigeration coil, and any of the heat that is in it gets absorbed into the really cold refrigerant. The heat gets dumped to outside, leaving cold air going out through these supply registers right there.
So you're saying this unit doesn't actually create cold air, it removes heat?
Cold is actually the absence of heat. Once I dump the heat to outside, all that's left is cold air. Now, at the very same time that we're making the air cold, another thing's happening. That air that's coming back from the building is filled with humidity, and it comes across that really cold refrigeration coil. Now, imagine that ice-cold glass of water down on your kitchen counter on a hot day. What happens?
It sweats.
Absolutely. So the same thing happens right here. It sweats, and that water, now called condensate, gets collected and goes out through that white pipe right there to outside. So now the air that's going back into your building is both cooler and drier. But the issue you have is spring and fall. It might say 70 on the thermostat, and then it shuts off, but you still have all this humidity all around you here in New Orleans. So now it wants to keep coming in. If you turn the thermostat colder, you might get some less humidity, but what happens? Freezing.
We've tried that and it just didn't work.
So I got an idea. Let me show you. So what we need to do is to find a way to dehumidify the air when we're not running the air conditioner. So this is the way most people do it. This is a portable dehumidifier. It has a bucket down the bottom to collect water. At the top, you can see right here, there's a coil. Now the humid air comes across that coil, and it's colder. So now what happens is that water settles off the coil down into the bucket, and it dumps drier air right here. This is sort of a baby cousin to an air conditioner. It's enough to dry the air, but not to make it cooler.
We have a couple of those in our basement, and they work great until the bucket fills up, and then they stop until I empty it.
And you have no time for practice.
Takes away from practicing.
All right, so what I want to do is I actually want to put in a standalone whole house dehumidifier. This will sit and work in conjunction with your air conditioning unit, so it'll go into the same ductwork. The way it works is humid air comes right here, is drawn across this filter, and now it comes inside here, and there's a cold coil in here that pulls that moisture out. It gets drawn into a drain that goes out through the back, and now the air comes back here and comes back through the front. It comes back drier, but not colder, so you can run it in the spring and the fall.
Sounds like the perfect solution.
I think so. Romalis Brown is from the local HVAC company giving us a hand today. The installation starts by hanging the unit above the air conditioner, allowing access for service for both the air conditioner and the dehumidifier. Square it up, right? Square it up. Beauty. So Romalis is installing the grill to this return air duct that's going to go back to the new dehumidifier right next to the old return air for the air conditioner.
Does that mean that only the hallway will be dehumidified?
No, actually, the humid air from the house will go back through that grill to the dehumidifier. Then it goes into the duct system. And the nice thing is about humidity is once we get part of the house dry, it'll equalize. Every room will be the same humidity level. With the grill in place, now we're ready to run the duct from the back of the dehumidifier to this grill. Using flexible strap, we support our flexible duct so it won't kink. We cut the flex duct to length and make the proper connection at the grill side. And now we work on the supply. You? Yeah. All right, Sarah, your new dehumidifier is installed. Do you remember the grill down in the hallway here? So that humid air comes up through the return right here, comes across a filter. Now you're gonna have to change this every once in a while, 2 to 3 months. Do you have pets?
Yes.
So even more, okay? It pushes in like this, and there's a nice panel that just snaps in, okay? So now it comes across the filter. Now it comes across that coil. It pulls that humidity out. There's a fan inside to drive the air through. All that water goes into the drain right here, right to outside. Nice dry air comes here into the supply, and then it goes right down into the common ductwork. So it uses all the existing distribution ductwork to put that dry air in. And the nice thing is we don't have to run the air conditioner to get nice dry air in your house.
That's great. How do I control it?
Well, that's downstairs. Thanks so much, Romalis. Great job. All right, so right here in the hallway is your original thermostat, and next to it is the new control. It's called a humidistat. It's going to sense the humidity level in the house and bring on that dehumidifier.
Now, what level should we set it at?
You know, it's personal preference. I like to start at about 35%, but you can see how easy it is to change. You just sort of turn this button right here, but you know your instruments are going to know the right setting.
Richard, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. Great fun, too. The house feels really comfortable, but that's not what you said in the email, though.
Right, we actually have a humidity problem, and it's not when you would expect it to be. Normally, you would think you would have high humidity in the summers, but when the air conditioner's on, it's fine. It's in the spring and the fall that we have high humidity.
All right. You realize, of course, you live in New Orleans where there's plenty of humidity, right?
Yes.
All right. How bad does it get?
Pretty severe. The windows get condensation on the inside a couple times a year, and I really would like to keep the house healthy and our musical instruments nice and dry.
That's right. They can't take a wide range of humidity. I know.
No.
All right. So why don't you show me where you hide your mechanical system?
Oh.